Okay, you guys, I'm going to be reviewing the Man of Steel Blu-ray, of course. This video will probably be in several sections as I review each and different parts of the sections of the special features that I watch. But of course, you guys won't know that until the camera jumps. So, let's get into disc 1. And let's start off with the movie. The picture quality on this movie is phenomenal, okay? Watch this movie for like the umpteenth time. Now, first time on Blu-ray. Probably the second best way to watch it besides IMAX. Yeah. Superb quality, man. This movie looks the way it should now in 2013. And I can't help but thank everybody at Warner Bros. For that, because damn, this movie looks fucking sexy. Okay? It's just awesome. Alright? And after my initial review of the movie, I now would say I would take two things out of this movie. I would say you could take out the tentacles, like I did in my review of Man of Steel, that comes up towards the end of the movie where he's fighting with the tentacles. Take that out. Don't take the whole scene out, just take out the tentacle part and have him come in like when he's coughing and he falls to the ground. Then he'll stand back up and fly into it and blow it up. And then the second one would be the church scene, the pre-scene. Yeah, it's a good scene, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make any impact to the story. It's just there. So that's probably the only two things I would take out of it. Overall, the picture quality, sound, audio, great. That gets an A right there. As for the features, you get a 75th anniversary Superman animated short. It starts off with the Superman theme song from the Richard Donner version, and then transitions over to the Man of Steel version, which is awesome. It's only like about a minute and a half long. Great little feature. I love it. It has every different version of Superman, from George Reeves to the 1930s to the animated series to Man of Steel even in there. And I love how you have another feature where they go behind the scenes of the movie, of course, and you see how they put everything together. This movie is like 95% practical, okay? Barely any CGI in it. They use CGI where they needed it. And you know what? I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that they had these people on wires doing all this shit. And then when it comes to like the flying part, yeah, the CGI would take over for the action part. Okay? They have this one scene called, what is that? The Hummingbird. I think it's called Hummingbird or whatever. What that is the fight between Superman and Zod in Metropolis. And they call it that because of their twists and turns in the air and how they would change positions and stuff like that. And you actually see them go through all that on camera, on stunts and stuff like that. They didn't take no expense to that CGI stuff. They did what they could with practical effects, and I greatly appreciate that. And I completely forgot General Zod's suit was completely CGI from the whole time. Him and Jor-El's suits were CGI. They were the only two that had CGI suits besides that third robotic henchman that you never seen his face. His suit was also CGI. But Superman and Faora were the only two that actually had practical suits. The only time Zod and Jor-El had suits is when they were in their little regular outfits that Superman's wearing, not the big armor suits. That's the only time they actually wore suits. So that was pretty good, because I forgot that didn't look like CGI. It looked completely like a fucking suit. It's awesome. That brought back so many memories to see that again. I'm like, oh yeah, they were CGI suits. Duh. The Battle of Smallville, that's what they call that. That was like 95% practical. From crashed A10s in the street, fires in the streets, all that's practical. It was mainly one small town, and what they did, they took the Sears, the 7-Eleven, and they built all that themselves. They just added it into the city and basically destroyed them on purpose. So I love that idea. I love that aspect of everything they did. I even like the aspect that they got the title Man of Steel from a different comic book titled Man of Steel. That was genius. I like the fact that they turned Pete Ross from a good guy to Clark's enemy until, you know, he saves him. And he becomes his friend again. And the fact that they made the town of Smallville, who Superman actually saves a few of them, they actually basically made this big small group of people that he saved out there, so that there are people that know who he is, but they won't tell anyways, because he saved them in a way that he made an impact on their lives, and they wouldn't be there if he did that. So I appreciate the fact that they also have a group of people that ain't gonna say nothing because of them now having lives and stuff like that. That was awesome. Okay, you get to see Christopher Nolan on set, which was completely awesome for like a little bit. I know Christopher Nolan's name is in here, but he barely had any input in this movie anyways. He just set it up. After all that, yeah, it's the cast and crew that they bring it all together, man. It's just great. Okay, even some of the flying, yeah, some of the flying looks CGI, but it's actually practical with sometimes CGI capes and CGI backgrounds. But the flying aspect is all by wire. And that's what I appreciate the most about everything. Okay? And I love the fact that they all had to train very, very hard, especially in the gym, especially in that. And yes, Feyora is in yoga pants. So sexy. And she actually speaks on the special features too, so that's awesome. I wish this chick, I hope this chick is in more stuff, because goddamn, I can't stop looking at her. They get nice round shots too of her in yoga pants, and it blows my mind. And I love the fact that Michael Shannon and Henry Cavill take their roles very seriously, especially Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon doesn't like to look at the screen when his take was, when you know how you'll cut and they'll come and look at it on screen. He doesn't like doing that, because he doesn't like to look at the finished product, and I respect that. Okay, I wouldn't want to look at myself either, even though I have to look at some of my videos to see how I did in it, to see if I have to reshoot it. I don't like looking at myself on camera. I don't like to know how I did until somebody tells me. So I can agree with that. I don't like looking at myself either, because it kind of kills it for me, if you will, you know. But in this case, he had to do it in order to get the scenes right, and how they had it set up. They always show what the scene was going to look like before they actually shot it. Especially when it came to Henry Cavill, they always show him scenes of how things were going to look out before they do it. And they also had shown him video of the crew doing it to themselves before he did it, so he'll feel comfortable doing it. And Henry Cavill and Michael Shannon, fucking awesome. Okay, just phenomenal. Just so much good detail went into this, and it's unforgettable, unfucking forgettable. And you also get cast and crew interviews on there. It's pretty solid. Okay, but we're not done yet. I'll be back. I also forgot to mention in the other half that you also get a featurette, not really a featurette, but like maybe a 5-minute thing with young Clark Kent talking to one of the crew about the little images you see at the beginning of the movie on Krypton, and how, you know, how they have that little Inception like pixels that make people's faces, like how Zurer was able to talk to his wife via that thing. It's still on the watch out, and how he was able to see what the baby was going to look like. That was pretty decent. But now we're going to be moving on to the Walmart exclusive content, which you can download exclusively on Vudu. It's not on the Blu-ray, but it comes with it. So basically, it's part of the Blu-ray. So basically, you have the Man of Steel. What is it called? Inside look. You know, you have like a little bit of a bits and pieces from like what they showed on HBO a few months back before the movie was released. In like 5 minutes. So it's like all compacted into one. You also have Zack Snyder in there and another part of the crew in there. You get the motion comic to the prequel comic of Man of Steel, which I'm going to review in a separate video. Because I was going to review that months ago, but I didn't have a chance to do it. You also have a featurette, the iconic landscapes of the film of Man of Steel. Not landscape. The sonic landscape. Basically what that is the scores of the movie. Basically the soundtrack of the film. That is probably the best featurette you can have. You literally hear all the music of Man of Steel. It is amazing. Hans Zimmer speaks on that. Zack Snyder speaks on that. Christopher Nolan drops in on the musical thing a little bit, check on it. That is worthwhile. That is a good 12 minutes well spent. You're gonna love that part of the featurette if you have the Walmart thing. You get like a featurette on cast and crew talking about their characters and how they fit into it, which is pretty nice to see. And yeah, I like that feature as well. Then you also get the featurette, which is on the Blu-ray disc of disc 1, which I just watched. So I didn't bother watching it again because I've already watched it on the disc. So with that in mind, we're moving on to disc 2, which is the other special features disc. Okay, you guys. On to the final part of Man of Steel's Blu-ray review, and we come to disc 2. In disc 2, you get Journey of Discovery, the creating Man of Steel, of course. And what that is like a little mini documentary, but what it is, it's like within the movie. So let's say if you want to watch Man of Steel again, you hit that. Zack Snyder will come on and tell you about certain stuff, okay? It's not just watching the movie. You're watching the movie and then you're going to learn stuff every so minutes of the movie being on. And watching this cut makes the movie 2 hours and 54 minutes long, which should be that running time anyways, but I'm not complaining. Planet Krypton is the awesome feature. What that is, this looks like a science documentary that you would see on the Science Channel. It's like literally a legit documentary on the science of Krypton. So basically you're watching a show on the Science Channel and it's like a real documentary. It just has Superman mythology written into it. And it works. You even got the narrator he's really taking it seriously. I don't know what Warner Bros. Was thinking when they did this, but it was amazing. Okay, they actually put some thought into making a fucking documentary on Krypton, and it's awesome. And you get to learn so much from that. Now, this version, X-Ray Vision, is the Target exclusive, and basically X-Ray Vision has a bunch of different stuff. You got the creation and destruction of Krypton. You get to see how Krypton is and how it was meant to be, and how in the first 20 minutes how they wanted this world to be even more gargantuan and humongous more than the Christopher Reeve version, which was just like a little white background that really had no heart or felt to it. It was just a set. And here they actually give you more of a feel of a planet with creatures and stuff. And even actually go into detail on some of the creatures and stuff like that. Oh, before I go any further, that Planet Krypton documentary, I forgot to mention something. They also have like little CG renderings of the spaceships, and you have like artists rendering as the man's talking. But on the CG renderings of the size ships, it says it has LexCorp, like right there on it has, I think, not property of LexCorp, it says something of LexCorp. LexCorp is actually studying these fucking ships. That's awesome. So I should throw that in there. Then you have Clark discovers the scout ship. And what that is basically a documentary on how he discovered the scout ship, what was the purpose of that scout ship, and how he has to find his true meaning of why he's here and stuff like that. And how General Zod, Jor-El made that little codex crystal thing, and how he made his whole memory like a documentary style for him, so he can tell Clark what to do. But if you were to swipe at it, he'll go in like different pixels. I never thought about it like that until they actually did it on screen, so that was pretty cool. They didn't, I don't think they ever did it in the movie though, kind of. But yeah, at least they put some thought into that too. And you got Battle on the Streets of Smallville, and what that is what kind of what was on the first disc. You actually see the destruction of a real small town neighborhood. It was really small, so what they did, they built one section of the street was actually all fake buildings, and they are partners, of course, with 7-Eleven, Sears, and all that stuff. So they wanted to incorporate 7-Eleven and Sears. There's even U-Haul in there, and you don't know what U-Haul is. U-Haul is a moving company, which I'm going to be using to bring most of my stuff to this new location. So I didn't even notice that until I watched the features on this movie. So that's pretty cool. They actually had U-Haul in there as well. And so much effort they went to make this movie. To even go so far as using the real life military, which I kind of admit, that's awesome. They actually use real C-130s, C-10s, F-35s. All that shit was real. Okay? Now, of course, when Lois is flying out the airplane, that's not real. They're actually on the ground or shit like that. Well, we probably already knew that. But everything, almost everything is real. 100%. The A-10s were real. The crashed A-10s are real. The destruction, the fires, all that shit is real. It's awesome. I love hard work. You can't just... You can't replace it. And you get the military might of Man of Steel, which is I just explained, them working with the real United States military and all that shit. And then you got the one I like, Attack on Metropolis, and how they actually were using in a real city, and they have to use green screen where they like CGI, where they had to put different areas where the CGI was going to be at. But for the most part, the city was real. I like that. That means they actually put more effort into that shit. Overall, having all this exclusive content makes for a better experience, and I can't wait to get all the other editions from the UK. Canadians is the same steelbook I have, so I don't need 2 copies of that. So UK, maybe Germany, France, whatever. If anybody's willing to hook me up on those type of trades, let's do it, because I want all versions of Man of Steel. I am not fucking around, okay? And if I come across more special feature contents on that Superman logo collector's edition and the one with the 2 figures, I'll make a part 2 for Man of Steel's Blu-ray review. I don't care, it's Superman, god damn it. So, with that in mind, finally wrapping this up. Sorry the video was so long. It's just that I don't like to do Blu-ray reviews and it's only like 4 or 5 minutes long. I'm reaching 4 years. Okay, I gotta put more professionalism into my shit. So, yeah. For all the upcoming exclusives and shit like that, you can expect a great Blu-ray review, not just a half-assed 5 to 6 minute review. No, no, no. That's not how I roll anymore. I gotta treat you guys better than that shit. Because you guys deserve it. Okay? You guys are taking me up, man. You're taking me up to 2,400 subscribers, and I really appreciate it. And this is the only way I know how to express my appreciation, is to give you guys more hard work and dedication. So, yeah, sorry that this took 2 nights, even though it seems like one whole video. This is actually Sunday night. So, yeah, the other 2 were from Saturday night. So, yes. All in all, I'm giving this Blu-ray an A+. Well done, Warner Brothers. Well done. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about the Man of Steel Blu-ray. Did y'all like this Blu-ray? Did y'all like the features on it? The transfer? What do y'all guys think? I'm out.